Star Trek is both a reboot and a prequel of the 1960s original TV series, featuring an all-new cast of young and up-and-coming actors like Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto. Star Trek boldly goes all the way back to where the TV show had never gone before, telling the fascinating origin stories of our main protagonists, from Kirk's near-death birth and Spock's very frustrated upbringing as a half-human, half-Vulcan. From there, the plot follows the future Enterprise crew members as they leave Starfleet Academy and embark on their very first journey, to save the planet Vulcan from the particularly disturbed Romulan named Nero, played by Eric Bana. And along the way, we get to watch as the characters slowly develop into the classic roles we all know and love them for. This movie absolutely deserves the high praise that it gets. It was incredibly successful, bringing non-fans and casual viewers back to this exciting franchise, giving the Star Trek name the swift kick in the ass that it desperately needed after the series started to slump in the early 2000s. I thought that this movie was ambitiously entertaining, edge-of-your-seat excitement, and surprisingly fresh and amusing for the entire 127-minute runtime. At first, I wasn't a fan of the film's strong departures from the original canon, but by setting the plot in an alternate timeline, director J.J. Abrams has opened up a very exciting realm of possibilities, where the writers are no longer bound by the franchise's previous installments. However, that didn't make it any easier for me to swallow some of the more daring plot twists, like Spock and Uhura's loving relationship. The lens flares in this movie also really pissed me off. I know it's becoming part of the Hollywood style, but the blue streaks of light going across my TV screen every 4 seconds became a bit distracting at times. On the plus side, I felt the characters were expertly cast, every actor doing a phenomenal job of bringing something fresh to the table while carefully maintaining the developed characteristics that the original cast had established over the last 40 years. This film has some great action sequences, outstanding effects, and an intriguing and fascinating storyline, and some comedy to boot. All of that makes this a very appealing film to a wide audience. Unfortunately, by popularizing Star Trek with some more mainstream action cliches, I fear that this movie may have alienated a few die-hard Trekkies. Now, I consider myself a Trekkie, having seen almost every episode of every series, but I personally wasn't alienated at all. I really loved this film. But let's see what you had to say about J.J. Abrams' Star Trek. The Last Holdout wrote, "Star Trek was the movie that Trekkies have deserved for a long, long time. The plot takes a little while to understand, but it's indicative of Abrams' refusal to underestimate the audience's intelligence. The character dialogue is expertly written, the casting is nearly perfect, and the action is top-notch. Carl Urban deserves accolades for his performance. As soon as he opened his mouth, you knew he was McCoy." Gura Glad wrote, "Star Trek was an okay action movie, but compared to the old Star Trek movies, I think it's lacking. William Shatner and the rest of the old gang had so much more personality, and in my opinion, a better storyline." Kefulo wrote, "Star Trek is like being a prisoner of war at the Playboy Bunny House." Now that we know what you think, let's give Star Trek a spin on the Rate-O-Matic. A 9. This movie really has everything you'd come to expect in a big budget blockbuster summer movie. Unfortunately for die-hard Trekkie fans and people who don't really like lens flares, this movie comes ever so short of a perfect 10. But Star Trek is an awesome film. Okay, can I go back to Hollywood now? Can you beam me back to Mann's Chinese Theater?